And welcome back to the Hot Lap. Breaking news pretty much at the time of recording this anyway, in the 5th of December 23:55, Toto Wolff, the Wolves, potentially under investigation by the FIA for that confidentiality information leak. We've got it here. This is on planetf1.com. Let's get into this. Really interesting stuff. Could be really controversial. Could be the story in the off-season. So the FIA from planetf1.com, Thomas Mayer, has issued a statement regarding this confidential information leak. The FIA, the governing body, has moved to issue a statement after recent media allegations suggested that F1 team boss has received confidential information from an employee of FOM. That's Formula One management. Now, days after the details of the report emerged online, we commented on it in one of our previous stories. The FIA has released a statement to say they are aware of the speculation and that their compliance department is investigating the matter. And without naming any team bosses, but we kind of know who it potentially is. Hey, his face is on our page above me right there. Now, without naming any team bosses, the statement from the FIA simply said that the recent media reports that have circulated about a team boss are being looked into by the compliance department. The FIA is aware of media speculation centred on the allegation of information of a confidential nature being passed to an F1 team principal from a member of FOM personnel, read the statement. The FIA Compliance Department is looking into the matter. Now, the FIA declined to pass further comment when approached by planetf1.com, clarifying that the situation has already been passed onto the Compliance Department of the governing body, headed up by Paolo Bassari. I hope I've got that right. Now, the governing body's suggestion of media speculation is likely to focus on a recent report in a Business F1 magazine that alleged team boss Toto Wolff had been privy to information known only by FIA, the governing body, and FOM Formula One management employees regarding of conformity or lack thereof of rival teams with the 2021 financial regulations. If you remember, back at Singapore, Toto Wolff, to be fair, and others were suggesting that Red Bull had breached the budget cap. Red Bull kind of denied that, but they did breach the budget cap. So Christian Horner was there saying, no, I didn't, but they did. And allegedly, Toto Wolff, it's been suggested, he knew. So the FA's Code of Ethics state confidentiality is one of its 4 key commitments, with Article 4 of its own 2020 ethics booklet saying the FAA parties and third parties should also treat as confidential or secret any information which is not public communicated to them in the exercise of their duties. Now, what are people saying about it? Well, F1 says allegations of Wolff are wrongdoing. This is motorsport.com by Jonathan Noble, and he says, his story says, Formula One has said any suggestions of a conflict of interest between F1 Academy Managing Director Susie Wolff and her husband, Toto, are wrong. The FIA announced on Tuesday night that its compliance department had opened an investigation into potential breaches of the governing body's regulations. While not naming Susie Wolff and Toto Wolff directly, a statement declared that an F1 team principal and member of FOM personnel were to be investigated following a media report. The FIA is aware of this media speculation centred on the allegation of information of a confidential nature being passed to an F1 team principal from a member of FOM personnel. Now, the FIA Compliance Department is looking into the matter, said the statement. The action had been prompted by a report in Business F1 magazine alleging that team principals were unhappy that Mercedes boss Toto Wolff had been privy to secret information with FOM. Now, with it understood that complaints had been made to the FIA, Mohammed Ben Salim took the decision to take this matter further. Any suggestions of wrongdoing by Wolff and FOM have been robustly denied by F1, and they're the one which will run the F1 Academy series. And in a strongly worded statement, which made reference to the fact it had not been notified of the investigation prior to that media statement, naughty, it defended both Wolff and its own reputation. It says, we note the public statement made by Wolff this evening was not shared with us in advance, said F1. We have complete confidence that the allegations are wrong, and we have a robust process and procedures that ensure the segregation of information and responsibilities in the event of any potential conflict of interest. We are confident that no member of our team has made any unauthorised disclosure to a team principle and would caution anyone against making imprudent and serious allegations without substance. Susie Wolff has obviously come out as well. This is on planetf1.com, and this is just a couple of hours ago. Susie Wolff labels allegations intermediary, intimidatory and misogynistic. Yes, that word, in a fiery statement. I mean, fair play to her if it is indeed wrong. So Susie Wolff has issued her own statement to respond to the unsubstantiated allegations linking her and her husband, Toto Wolff, to this FIA investigation. Wolff, as we know, is the managing director, Susie this is, of the FOM1 F1 Academy, and her name has been publicly linked with these reports to the FIA's decision to have their compliance department investigate both Toto and Susie. Now, the FIA confirmed their awareness of media speculation. This was regarding an allegation of confidential information, as we know, being passed to an unnamed F1 team boss, potentially Toto Wolff. Shortly after the FIA statement, Mercedes released a statement of their own as well to confirm the FIA's own briefing on the matter. And it had brought Toto's name and noted the generic statement from the FIA responding to the same. Now, the Brackley-based team that said that they've not yet received any communication from the FIA compliance department and were highly surprised to learn of the investigation through this statement. Susie Wolff as well has released a statement through her own social media saying she is deeply insulted but sadly unsurprised by the public allegations made. It is disheartening that my integrity is being called into question in such a manner, she said, especially when it seems to be rooted in intimidatory and misogynistic behaviour and focused on my marital status rather than my abilities. Now, if that's the case, absolutely agree. I completely agree with her. Now, throughout my career in motorsport, I've encountered and overcome numerous obstacles, and I refuse to let these baseless allegations overshadow my dedication and passion for F1 Academy. As a woman in the sport, I face my fair share of challenges, but my commitment to breaking down barriers and paving the way for future generations to succeed remains unwavering. In the strongest possible terms, I reject these allegations. Obviously, yeah, made it very clear that she does indeed reject these allegations. And I guess if it comes out that she's wrong, both Toto and Susie are going to look pretty stupid, but then you have to take that on face value and think, well, she's got to be true, because then why would she put that out? If the proof is there, they're going to come unstuck, aren't they? It's really similar to Christian Horner denying that they breached the budget cap. I think his exact words were, we implemented, they gave their accounts essentially and they were under budget cap, but then he kind of was still denying the fact that they breached it, and they did. So egg on his face, and I'm hoping for the Wolff's sake this is not the case. Also, this is on motorsport.com, Mercedes rejects unsubstantiated allegations. This is again on motorsport.com, probably quite similar, from Jonathan Noble, saying again that Mercedes have rejected allegations of any wrongdoing by its Formula One team principal Toto Wolff and knew nothing about an FIA investigation until it was released in the media, which, to be fair to them, if that's what they're doing, that's really, really unprofessional of the FIA. However, as we know, just go back all the years, the FIA, one of their biggest problems is communication, and they have not learned. And you've got to, the accountable guy is Ben Sulayem, isn't it? He's going to have to be potentially accountable for it. And I've never seen the FIA in the media as much since this guy's been in charge, which I think is both a strength, because I think he's quite happy to unlike, for example, John Todd, he's quite happy to talk to the media, and I think they're quite open, which is really, really good. But on the other side, maybe because of that, they're making like these mistakes. I mean, you saw the FIA a bit more when Max Mosley was in charge, be in the media with him and Bernie. I can't imagine if social media was around, the hoo-ha on X, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, everything. I think it would be absolutely fascinating, wouldn't it? And as we know, they announced on Tuesday, which is now yesterday at the time of recording, just by 5 minutes. By the way, happy St. Nicholas Day on the 6th of December. It says the FIA is aware of media speculation centred. Yeah, it just basically goes on. And obviously Mercedes reject the allegation. It goes, we wholly reject the allegation in the statement and associated media coverage, which wrongly impinges on the integrity and compliance of our team principle. Mercedes said it would link a swift resolution to the matter involving the FIA and full transparency in the investigation. It added, as a matter of course, we invite full, prompt and transparent correspondence from the FIA Compliance Department regarding this investigation. The FIA Compliance Department has called into action already this season when Lance Stroll was investigated for pushing his trainer in Qatar. That's by the by. What's going to happen? I mean, this story is going to run and run, so I'd imagine maybe this time tomorrow or come Wednesday evening, we may well have some kind of like a resolution or something, but there we go. Anyway, this has been the Heart Lap. If you have liked it, like and subscribe, comment. We'll get to your comments as soon as we can. Also, thank you very much, anyone that's watched it. If you made it to the end, you're a champion. If you like, subscribed, you're a champion. If you commented, you're a champion. If you do any of those two, you are a world champion in our eyes. Thank you very much. Speak to you soon.